David Uswiko, and my presentation involves the topic of maximizing one's intellectual potential, which was inspired by the stimulus material titled, Can You Make Yourself Smarter? Nature versus nurture is one of the most commonly debated topics of all time. Is intelligence solely genetic, or do external factors affect it? Well, the answer is actually both. New research suggests that environmental factors play a larger hand than previously believed. There are two types of intelligence, crystallized and fluid. Crystallized involves the ability to store and utilize knowledge, while fluid intelligence involves using logical reasoning to solve novel problems. While crystallized intelligence increases over one's lifetime, fluid intelligence has been found to peak in middle adulthood. While fluid intelligence was previously thought to be unable to be improved, new studies show that playing brain training games can actually increase it. After playing the brain training games, children were found to answer questions less impulsively and were more susceptible to improvement in fluid intelligence scores. In addition, brain scans of participants before and after testing found that their blood flow was increased throughout the brain and that areas of the brain used during testing became less active, indicating that the brain became more efficient. People suffering from brain trauma and children with ADHD also showed advancement, as did students who attended class poorly, who were able to catch up with their peers in math and language classes. Aerobic exercise is another activity that can increase intellectual ability and has been linked to higher levels of fluid intelligence, memory, and executive function. This is because exercise leads to higher production of ursin in the brain, a molecule which activates genes involved in cognition and leads to advanced hippocampal activity. Aerobic fitness also correlates highly with working memory and greater blood flow velocities, which, combined with the brain scans of the brain training participants, suggest a relationship between blood flow and intelligence. Older people were also found to have greater physical changes to their brain than younger people following aerobic exercise. Preoccupations are another influence which can have adverse effects on one's mental capabilities. And freeing up this figurative bandwidth of the mind can allow people to perform more effectively. Studies show asking participants whether they could produce the amount of money resulted in significantly lower test scores for those who could not produce the amount of money compared to those who could. And other test groups asked a similar question, acted more impulsively, and as did people who were required to remember a number during certain activities. In addition, sugarcane farmers scored 25% better on tests of fluid intelligence after harvest, and on tests of executive control answered with faster response times and with less errors. These differences in the farmers' scores show that untriggered factors can have subconscious effects on people's intelligence. While many support brain training, some believe that it only increases working memory capacity. A 20-day study of 55 undergraduate students at Georgia Tech found that only brain training using complex span tasks involving multitasking improved working memory, and that no amount of training resulted in gains in fluid intelligence scores. However, the shorter length of the study compared to previous studies of only 3 weeks, not 5 to 17 like the others, or the college age of the participants may have compromised the results of this study. Others believe that intelligence is a fixed component that is only minorly affected by environmental factors. However, as Brown-educated David Shank and other geneticists agree, genes influence everything but determine almost nothing on their own. Genes are not a clear-cut blueprint for a human being. They actually combine with a number of environmental factors to produce an outcome. For example, having the breast cancer gene mutation does not guarantee one will develop breast cancer. It simply means that one is more likely to develop it depending on a number of outside influences. The sugarcane farmers substantiate the idea that environmental factors affect test scores, as the same farmers were tested just at different times of the year with differing circumstances in their lives. The increases in fluid intelligence and academic gains shown by the children tested also can only be attributed to the brain training games, as the students who played regular computer games did not show any gains in fluid intelligence. Maximizing intellectual output is a topic in which everyone can find interest. Brain training is a way of maximizing one's output by increasing their working memory, fluid intelligence, and multitasking ability, especially in younger populations. Aerobic exercise not only promotes a healthy lifestyle, but also leads to gains in fluid intelligence, memory, and executive functioning, especially for older people. Clearing one's mind of stress can also have positive effects, and this can be achieved in several ways. Creating schedules with free time allows people to unburden themselves from remembering their tasks for the day, as well as allow for free time in case of unexpected difficulties. Signing up for automatic bill payments is also another way that people can clear their minds of stress. By following these simple practices, anyone is able to maximize their intellectual capabilities.
Okay, I have a few questions for you. What information did you need before you began your research, and how did that information shape your research?
Well, I needed information suggesting that outside influences actually affected intelligence, which was shown in multiple studies of brain training and aerobic exercise and the preoccupations. And that affected my research because it showed the relationship between these factors and intelligence.
Okay. And what might be the real-world implications or consequences of your findings? And then also, what would that mean for your community?
Well, brain training could be implemented in schools, as it's been shown to have a higher level of improvement for younger people as compared to older. And older people could aerobically exercise more often, as well as make sure to create plans for their schedules and clear their minds of any stress. And within my community, the same kinds of things could be implemented to allow this, such like training the brain for students and aerobic exercise.